Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Homosexual activists demand that PayPal, the Internet's largest online pay site, discriminate against Christian individuals and organizations. Unfortunately, PayPal seems to be listening to the demands of homosexual activists. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action, and today for Matt Staver. Joining me again in studio is Sean Akers, Liberty Counsel's Vice President of Middle Eastern Affairs. Sean, a radical homosexual activist group, All Out, has created an online petition. They boast of tens of thousands of petition signatures demanding that PayPal, which creates the little icon that websites can put on their website in order to receive donations or payments. Individuals can have them on their web pages. Organizations, any kind of organization, businesses, it's used all over the Internet. They are demanding that they remove Christian organizations like Americans for Truth About Homosexuality, the Family Research Council, credible mainstream Christian organizations that the Southern Poverty Law Center, another radical leftist group, has labeled as hate groups. Well, they are demanding that PayPal no longer allow these groups to use their service, that they discriminate against them and cut them off. PayPal seems to be doing that. One individual, a pro-family Christian advocate from Brazil who was forced to actually leave Brazil, to flee Brazil because of his pro-family activism and advocacy, Julio Severo, his website has received information from PayPal saying that they will no longer allow him to use their service. Quote, "This is not a decision we make lightly, and we deeply regret any inconvenience or frustration this matter may cause you. Please understand that this decision is final." Not only that, they have tied up the funds that he has in the PayPal account for 180 days. They are co-opting his own money and holding it hostage. And discriminating against him. It remains to be seen where they intend to take this anti-Christian bigotry and discrimination policy. But I have some bad news for PayPal. It's going to backfire, and it's going to backfire tremendously.
Well, I hope it does, Matt. This raises three very distinct issues that are actually good to have exposed. One is that PayPal is a private organization, and it's got to live or die by these kinds of decisions because we don't have to participate in PayPal. This is a chance for citizens to lead by their economic activity. If PayPal is going to gag those that it disagrees with their speech, then those of us who make up 70 million or so evangelical Christians in the United States don't have to do business with PayPal. Another thing that I'd point out, though, Matt,
say that number again.
Yeah, is 70 million self-identified evangelical Christians or so in the United States.
And I wonder how many of those Christians are part of organizations or individuals have their little PayPal link and use the PayPal
Absolutely.
service.
I mean, it's tremendous. But here's the other thing, Matt, is that I want you to see this, I want our listeners to see this very, very clearly, that PayPal, that the message that's been sent out here is that PayPal can discriminate against these against people who hold a different view than the homosexual community, because just by holding a different view, you're committing hate speech.
Right.
Now, if there was just the opposite, if there were if PayPal had been listening to Christian groups and said we're no longer going to do business with anybody that's pro-gay, that's anybody that's pro-homosexual, then there would be calling for the heads all the way to the top
this would be a
of this. It would.
Front page news story on all the networks, on all the newspapers.
Discrimination under the Civil Rights Act, according to them, based on sexual orientation.
Right.
It would be a death knell. But because they get to label anybody who disagrees with them as haters, as the commissioners of hate speech, then they have this this leverage to do this, and it's all about a cultural marketing standpoint. None of this is found in the Constitution, and none of it's found in any legitimate law.
It's pure Alinskyite politics. Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. It is a radical policy. It's a radical strategy, and it's effective. But, we have been saying all along, we're not turning around and demanding that PayPal remove their service from homosexual websites or homosexual activist websites. All we're saying to groups like PayPal, and there are other organizations that are listening to this radical, loud, obnoxious activist minority in the homosexual activist community, listening to them, this is tyranny of the minority is what it is, and we're seeing it on display here. And PayPal, you would think that there would be some sense over there that they have built this major, corporation up worth, millions and millions and millions of dollars. You would think that they would recognize the potential backfire here, and here is that potential backfire. And I guarantee you, if they continue with this discriminatory anti-Christian policy, which is bigotry, pure and simple, if they continue with this, there will be a mass. I don't want to call it a boycott, but Christians across the country, across the world, will be encouraged through a very wide range of Christian and pro-family organizations to no longer do business with PayPal. You would think that they would look at that bottom line and do what we're asking them to do, and that's simply to remain neutral in this culture war with these very polarizing issues. And the reality is that the majority of Americans actually share a claim to be Christian and share a biblical worldview relative to these issues. PayPal stands to lose, I think, millions and millions of dollars with this. And me, I'm kind of a fighter. You are too a little bit. I'm kind of inclined to just rub my hands together and say, let them do it. Let's bring it on. Let's you want to take the fight? We'll take the fight.
Well, the beauty of this is we can stand by PayPal's ability to be absolutely wrong. It's their company, but it creates a tremendous opportunity, Matt, for somebody to form. PayPal serves a very simple purpose, and it's not rocket science. They've done a good job of putting this business together. It does what it does very effectively, but it's not rocket science. Yeah. Somebody could put together a competitor, a pro-liberty competitor, to compete with PayPal, which has been impossible in the past because they've cornered the market. But with a large enough exodus, a large enough group of people that said, you know what, I don't want to do business with PayPal anymore, would be enough for somebody, quite literally, maybe one of our listeners, to launch a competitor to PayPal. And that's the way we can lead, the way that the founders led. You can lead. Yeah. You lead as effectively with the way you use your wallet as the way you use your vote. And this is one of those places that could really not only backfire on PayPal, but could really be a good thing for the United States.
That crafty entrepreneur may be listening to this program right now. That organization, that alternative to PayPal, may already be in existence. We're going to research this for future shows. But, PayPal really, they are playing with fire here. They now are in a potential position where PayPal can, in perpetuity, be associated with the term anti-Christian. Do they want that? I wouldn't think so. But, people have for so long kowtowed to the dictates, to the demands of the radical homosexual activist lobby. Major corporations are terrified of this little, very powerful group of radicals. And so they seem to be listening to them and doing everything they can to appease this radical minority. But they do so to their own detriment.
They do, Matt. And on a larger issue, and probably more important one at the root of this, we talked some time ago, many months ago, about the hate crimes legislation that went through. This is why this has become so important. I've said for a long time that the secret to making sure that bad ideas are adopted is to make sure that they're the only ones available.
Right.
You silence the far left knows that they can't handle an argument on the merits.
They can't.
They simply cannot compete in the marketplace of ideas on the merits. So what they do is seek to silence anybody, and they use Saul Alinsky's Rule 5, ridicule. They use a whole variety of Saul Alinsky's tactics. This is literally a move to ridicule people into oblivion, and on the legislative side, to make it illegal to criticize them. That is unbelievable.
Well, Scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. Scripture also says that they hate us, Christians, because they first hated him, Christ. And we know that this is an attack not so much against Christians, Christian organizations, as it is an attack against Christ himself. At Liberty Counsel, Jesus doesn't need us to rush to his defense, but we are going to stand in firm defense of biblical principles. We encourage you to become part of Liberty Counsel's ministry and join us in defense of those biblical principles. Go to lc.org to find out how you can become part of Liberty Counsel's ministry.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.